Hey guys, Metal War God here, and I have part 3 in my A to Z CD collection series, and we're still continuing with the A's, episode 3, so let's get into it. And if you've seen the other 2 videos, you'll know where I'm at. Now I'm up, and like I say, I'm not going to go in detail real much about these. It's going to be kind of a quick show and maybe just a little bit of tell about this, about some of these, but because I got a lot of CDs to keep going and it's going to take me a while. So anyway, let's get back into the A's, and here's a band called Armageddon. Their self-titled album, released in 1975 on A&M Records. Fantastic album. If you've never heard Armageddon, of course, this has Keith Rife, and let's see here. I'm trying to remember. There's a couple other members that went on to form a couple other bands. Bobby Caldwell went on to Captain Beyond, and but Keith Relf is no longer with us. And the only album these guys ever put out, Armageddon. Great stuff here. Fantastic stuff. Definitely get this on vinyl, but definitely pick all these up. Up next, I have this, I believe it's on vinyl, but I have this on CD, a band called The Answer with Never Too Late, the EP, and this came out on the End Records, and this came out in 2008. They're kind of a, they got a Led Zeppelin vibe about them. They're okay, not one of my favorite bands, but good stuff. And they were on tour with Led Zeppelin, or with AC/DC back in the day, so The Answer. Up next, a band called Ard Lam with Ode to Salvation, Greek metal band. Came out in, let's see, 2008, and on Eat Metal Records. Great stuff from these guys. I believe these guys are out of Greece. I think I mentioned that, but if I didn't, well, anyway, good stuff. Power metal band. If you have not heard them, definitely check them out. I think a lot of you guys who watch my channel and are similarly following me, and you guys have similar tastes, your guys are going to definitely like this band. Here is Ard Lam. Up next, a band called All Ends. This is an EP, Wasting Life. And I believe these guys are more power thrash. This came out in 2007 on Gun Records out of Germany, GmbH label. So these guys are more thrash, power thrash, so definitely check them out. Up next, Alan Land. Russell Allen, Jorn Land, with the album The Revenge. Good stuff, more melodic in nature, but comes in a slipcase and the regular CD. Of course, this is put out in 2007 on Frontiers, a record label. Melodic power metal. Check them out. Up next, band called Accent Star with The Inquisition. This was on Arise Records, came out in 2005. These guys are more, God, I want to say, not really symphonic, but they are power metal, but they got the high vocals, and I want to say, if I'm not positive, but I think these, no, they don't. This is more, thinking of a different band, but power metal. Good stuff. Accent Star. Inquisition. Up next, another one from Accent Star, Perpetual Twilight, also on Arise Records. And this one came out in 2002. Digipack. Anyway, here you go, Accent Star. Up next. Oh, let's see here. Gotta make sure I, okay. Some Attacker with Battle at Helm's Deep. Classic metal that assaults the mind. Of course, this was re-released on Sentinel Steel Records and originally came out in 1983-84. And just classic. I mean, just a classic album with a classic lineup. And I'm trying to think, let's see. Of course, it has the liner notes and so forth. Let's see here. I believe this is the re-release cover, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think this is the original cover. So anyway, I'm trying to think. It has, okay, the only two members that I believe are left are Mike Sabatini and Bob Mitchell. And Bob Mitchell and both of these guys are still around today doing a lot of good metal for a lot of good people, including themselves. So here is Attacker with Battle at Helm's Deep. And, of course, I have Attacker, The Second Coming, also re-released by Sentinel Steel Records. Originally came out in 86, 87, 88, and 11 tracks. And I believe the lineup, let's see, The Second Coming, of course, another cover variation. And let's see here. I'm not gonna maybe find it in here. Yes, Mike Sabatini and Bob Mitchell is not in this band's second album here. Trying to get these on vinyl. They are pretty spendy, but anyway, The Second Attacker. And then later on, they came out with Giants of Canaan. This came out in 2013 on Metal Records, and definitely a killer album. Of course, this has Mike Benanatos, Bobby Lucas on vocals, Michael Sabatini, and anyway, this is actually a really killer CD for coming out in 2013. Definitely check these guys out if you have not checked out their newer stuff. And then what came out last year was in my top 25. I believe that was number 16 on my list, if I'm not mistaken. Come out later in 2016, and Attacker, Sins of the World, of course, Bobby Lucas on vocals, and Mike Sabatini. I think Bob Mitchell is back in Attacker, if I'm not mistaken. Michael Sabatini. Let's see. Maybe Bob Mitchell is not. No, he's not. I'm sorry. Originally, Bob was in the first Attackers. So anyway, if you haven't got this, definitely, man, this is a killer album. Definitely check these guys out. Not out on vinyl, only CD, so good stuff here. Second 10. I got to get these in order here. Anyway. Kind of mixed up a little bit, but we'll get it right. Okay. I think we got them right now. We're kind of going to be a little bit out of order here a little bit. Anyway, we'll start off with Accept I'm a Rebel. And I'm slowly acquiring most of it on vinyl, but I do have most of these on CD. Of course, this is re-released in 2005 on Steam Hammer. So yeah, good stuff here. And then I have, I remember when I first got this, Accept Metal Heart, one of their classics. Of course, it has Midnight Mover, Metal Heart, Screaming for a Love Bite, Dogs on Leads. And this came out originally in 1985. In fact, I do believe this is an original CD from back in them days. I believe when they first started issuing CDs, if I'm not mistaken. I can almost guarantee this is an original first pressing CD of this album. So yeah, good stuff here. I can say they're going to be out of order. I never kind of ever put them in the same year. I put them in alphabetized order, but hardly ever in the same chronological order. But anyway, here is Final Chapter from 1998. And double live album. And this is out on BMG, actually. Of course, we all remember BMG. So anyway, here is the Final Chapter from Accept. Up next is Eat the Heat. And I'm trying to think when this originally was released. I don't see it, but it's a remastered edition from Accept. Also from BMG. So yeah, like I say, I got most of them on CD. Up next is Breaker. This was this came out in 2005, so Steam Hammer put these out, and so anyway, here's Breaker. Of course, it has Breaker, Son of a Bitch, Midnight Highway, and so anyway, some more Accept, and then we have Restless and Wild. And this is from 1983 on Portrait Records. And so, Restless and Wild, Accept. I have that on vinyl. Up next is Russian Roulette. This came out in '86, re-released in 2002 on BMG. And again, this is a remastered edition. So yeah, more, and of course now we're talking the classic. This is the Metal Master series of Balls to the Wall, which came out in 1984, and everybody knows this album. If you don't, then you don't listen to Accept. But great stuff. Balls to the Wall, London Leather Boys, Head Over Heels, Turn Me On, Losers and Winners, Guardian of the Night. Of course, this has bonus tracks on it as well. So yeah, classic album. And then we're getting into more of the newer stuff. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Okay. Now these are, in my opinion, are probably the three best back-to-back albums ever put out by one band, in my opinion. And a lot of people tend to agree, and of course I'm talking about Accept with new singer Mark Tornillo on here, and this is Blood of Nations. Of course it has Beat the Bastards, Tectonic Terror, Blood of Nations, Locked and Loaded, Rolling Thunder, Pandemic. Just a solid album, and I got this on vinyl as well. And this was #1 on many people's lists when it first came out on Nuclear Blast. And I want to say this came out in 2010. So it's already 7 years old. But a classic album from these guys. And then another solid effort. To me, not quite as solid as Blood of the Nations, but still a great album from these guys. And I'm talking about Stalingrad. And I'm trying to think of which, if this is, I think this is the American version cover. And of course this has Hung, Drawn and Quartered, Stalingrad, Hellfire, Revolution, Against the World, Never Forget. And of course this one, I believe this one came out in 2012, yes, on Nuclear Blast. Great stuff. And I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, if I can get it out here. Well, it is the same, but the slipcover is different. I believe this is the European slipcover version. The CD is the same as the other one, but this is a regular CD. 2012. And another monster from these guys. Accept, Blind Rage, Nuclear Blast. This is a CD DVD. I do have a box set. I have a flag over here. I don't know if you can see, maybe you can see a little bit of it. It must be right there. That's from this box set. So yeah, good stuff. So anyway, Accept. This came out in 2014, I believe. Yes, 2014. They're working on a new album, so check it out. And now we're going to get down to a few in the end. And here's a band called Arwen. And this is from 2002 on Arise Records. Not really gothic, but more it's power metal, kind of more flowery. Well, not really. This is more actually, if I'm not mistaken, this has a little more symphonic tendencies in it. Huge band. Let's see where they got 8 members in the band, and good stuff here from Arwen. Memories of a Dream. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, Memories of a Dream. Let's see, it came out in 2002, so it's been around quite a while. Up next, and this is Asia with self-titled album Asia. And gotta love the covers from these guys. And this one is actually came out in 2001. And of course it has Jeff Downes keyboards, John Payne lead vocals, Steve Howe, Pat Thrall, Ian Critchin, Tony Levine on drums, Vinny Colaiuta, Simon Phillips, Chris Slade, Michael Sturgis. It's definitely a good Asia album. So anyway, good stuff here. Up next, a band called Athlone with Phobia. It's on SPV Records. Actually, AFM Records. This came out in 2010. Power metal again. So anyway, here's Athlone. And we got, what do we got? 4 left. And then here we got Ace Fortress with Roll the Dice. surprisingly very good album. I believe these guys are more traditional metal. And very, very surprised by the name. And somebody had mentioned this band to me, so I decided to check them out. Loved what I heard. Went over and picked up the CD. And these guys are, this was released, these guys are out of, actually, I believe, Brazil. And let's see, when did this come out? I'm not seeing a date, but good stuff here. I'm going to say this came out probably about 2011, 2012. Let's see here. Doesn't say, but anyway. Good stuff here. Definitely, definitely traditional metal. Straightforward heavy metal for Ace for Trays. Good stuff. Up next, a band called Axe Battler with The Wrath of My Steel. And I believe these guys are out of, they're out of Chile. They are a heavy metal band. Their vocal style is more, not really guttural, but not really death metal. They're kind of in between that. And this is a 5-song EP. And good stuff. South American bands always rock it. These guys are no exception. From Chile, Axe Battler. And final two. Band out of the U.S. called Artisan with Curse of the Artisan. Kind of melodic power metal. Trying to think of the vocalist. I can't think of it right off the bat, but it's on Pure Steel Records. And let's see. This came out in 2011. But melodic power metal. And the last one is also from Artisan. This is a 3-song, probably not really a sampler, but maybe an EP, maybe. But this came out in 2009, and anyway, I believe they have 3 albums out. Ty Tame is on drums. That's who I'm trying to think of. Who was the main member of the band. So anyway, here's Artisan. So anyway, those are 30 CDs again from A's in my CD collection A to Z, Part 3 in the A's. I don't know what A's are going to go, probably up into 10. And then B's and so forth. Like I say, this is going to take me a long time to do, so be patient. I do it when I can. So anyway, that's all I have to say for this segment of CDs A to Z from Metal War God. So anyway, as I always say, keep it loud, keep it heavy, keep it metal, and I'll see you next time on the CDs A to Z. Take care, everybody.